235 million Americans are in the path of what could be the most devastating winter storm in 30 years. Right now, as you are watching this video, ice is already falling in Texas. In the next 72 hours, this storm will travel 2,000 miles from Arizona to Maine, and someone in this country is going to lose power for a week in temperatures colder than Antarctica. If you live anywhere between the Rockies and the Atlantic Ocean, the next 5 minutes could save your life. Here is what is happening right at this exact moment. Freezing rain has begun in Midland, Texas. Abilene is seeing ice accumulation on power lines. By the time you finish watching this sentence, another inch of ice will have formed on trees in northern Oklahoma. Interstate 35 is already becoming treacherous. Interstate 20 between Midland and Fort Worth will be impassable within the hour. Interstate 40 from Amarillo to Oklahoma City is about to shut down. This is not a drill. This is happening right now. And here is the reward I promised you in the first 30 seconds. At the 5-minute mark of this video, I am going to show you the exact timeline for your city, whether you are going to see snow, ice, or both, when it starts, when it peaks, and most importantly, when the temperatures drop so low that even if you have power, you need to take action. But first, you need to understand why this storm is different from anything we have seen in decades. 3 separate weather systems are colliding over the middle of America. A massive Arctic high-pressure system is pushing down from Canada with air so cold it has not been this far south in over 40 years. At the same time, moisture from the Gulf of Mexico is streaming north, and a powerful jet stream is creating the perfect conditions for what meteorologists call a bomb cyclone. This is the kind of storm that gets studied for years, the kind that gets named in weather history books, and you are about to live through it. Let me paint you a picture of what is coming. By 6 a.m. Saturday morning, this storm will explode in size and intensity. Memphis will have snow flying. Kansas City will be buried. Springfield, Missouri will be getting hit hard. Bentonville, Arkansas, and Oklahoma City will see heavy, intense snowfall. Little Rock will be in the danger zone. But here's where it gets really interesting. From Midland, Texas, through Dallas over to Shreveport, Louisiana, into Greenwood, Mississippi, a stripe of freezing rain is going to persist for 12 to 18 hours. This is not a quick ice event. This is a prolonged, dangerous, infrastructure-destroying ice storm. South of that ice zone, Austin, Texas will see heavy rain and possibly thunderstorms. San Antonio could hear thunder. Houston might experience something that sounds impossible but is very real. Thunder ice, thunder sleet, thunder freezing rain. When you get convective energy mixing with freezing temperatures at the surface, you get one of the most dangerous winter weather phenomena that exists. And it is headed for the Gulf Coast. Now let me tell you about your city. Comment below where you are watching from so I can give you a personalized forecast in the comments, but here is what we know right now for over 50 major locations across America, starting in the Southwest. Albuquerque, New Mexico, you are looking at 4 to 7 inches of snow beginning Friday evening. Flagstaff, Arizona, 8 to 12 inches by Saturday morning. Phoenix, you are on the southern edge, but you could see a wintry mix Saturday morning. This almost never happens to you. Moving to Texas, El Paso, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Lubbock, 6 to 10 inches starting Friday night. Amarillo, this is your big one. 8 to 14 inches of heavy snow. Midland and Odessa, you are in the ice bull's eye. 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation. That is enough to snap power lines. Abilene, same story. Devastating ice. Wichita Falls could see 8 to 12 inches of all snow. You are right on that line. Fort Worth and Dallas, here is your timeline. Friday evening, cold rain begins. By midnight, it transitions to freezing rain. Saturday morning, you wake up to a glaze of ice on everything. Trees, power lines, roads. Overpasses will be skating rinks. You could see 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice, and that is a best-case scenario. Austin, heavy rain Friday night into Saturday. Watch for localized flooding. San Antonio, same situation. Houston, you are borderline. You could see freezing rain Saturday morning if temperatures drop just 2 degrees more than expected. Have a backup plan. Oklahoma, Tulsa, you are in the snow zone. 12 to 15 inches of heavy snow Saturday into Sunday. This could be a top 5 snow event in your city's history. Oklahoma City, similar story. 10 to 14 inches of snow. This will be all snow for you. No ice. just deep, heavy accumulation, the kind that shuts down a city. Lawton, 6 to 9 inches. Enid, 8 to 12 inches. Arkansas. Little Rock, this is complicated. You start with snow Saturday morning, 3 to 4 inches, then it transitions to sleet, then freezing rain. By Saturday night, you are looking at 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice on top of that snow. Memphis, Tennessee, you get 4 inches of snow, but you will not see it all on the ground at once because it is going to mix with sleet and then change to freezing rain. Total ice accumulation, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Texarkana, you are right in the worst zone. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, and up to 3/4 of an inch of ice. Moving into Louisiana, Shreveport, Monroe, and areas around Natchez, Mississippi, you are looking at prolonged freezing rain. 1/2 to 1 full inch of ice is possible. An inch of ice will bring down trees that have stood for 100 years. If you lose power in this area, it could be days before it comes back. Baton Rouge and New Orleans, you stay just warm enough for rain, but temperatures Saturday night into Sunday could drop you into the freezing range. This is not normal for you. Bring your pets inside. Protect your pipes. Mississippi. Jackson, you are in extreme danger. Freezing rain begins Saturday morning and continues through Sunday. 3/4 of an inch to 1 full inch of ice. Vicksburg, Yazoo City, Greenwood, Tupelo, Oxford, Boonville, you are all in that extreme impact zone. This is where we could have an actual emergency. Power outages lasting a week or more. Highways shut down. Trees blocking roads. Emergency services unable to reach people. If you are in this area, prepare like you are about to be cut off from the world for 5 days. Tennessee. Nashville, here is your situation. Current models show you getting 2 to 4 inches of snow Saturday morning. Then it changes to sleet, then freezing rain. The big question is how far north the warm air pushes. If it stays south, you get a devastating ice storm with 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of ice. That means widespread power outages, major travel disruptions, trees down everywhere. If the warm air pushes just 30 miles farther north, you flip to all rain and you dodge a disaster. Right now, the odds favor the ice scenario. Prepare for the worst. Clarksville, you are hanging on to 4 to 6 inches of snow, but you could see some of that warm air work in and cut your totals. Chattanooga, 6 to 8 inches of snow. Knoxville, 8 to 12 inches. Memphis, we already covered you. Kentucky, Louisville, 11 to 14 inches of snow. This is going to be a major event. Lexington, here is where it gets tricky. Models show 11 to 13 inches of snow, but I think you could get less, maybe 6 to 9 inches. Why? Because if that warm air channel widens just a little bit, you get sleet mixing in, and that cuts your totals significantly. You are right on the edge. Bowling Green, 6 to 9 inches. Paducah, 8 to 11 inches. Pikeville, 10 to 14 inches. Ohio. Cincinnati, 12 to 15 inches of snow. This is one of your bigger storms in recent years. Columbus, 10 to 13 inches. Cleveland, 7 to 9 inches. Dayton, 11 to 14 inches. Toledo, 6 to 8 inches. Indiana. Indianapolis, 9 to 11 inches. Evansville, 12 to 15 inches. Fort Wayne, 8 to 10 inches. South Bend, 6 to 9 inches. Illinois. Chicago, you are on the northern fringe. 4 to 7 inches of snow Sunday. Springfield, 8 to 11 inches. Peoria, 7 to 10 inches. Rockford, 5 to 8 inches. Missouri, Kansas City, 10 to 13 inches of heavy snow. This storm parks over you Saturday night into Sunday. St. Louis, 7 to 9 inches. Columbia, 9 to 12 inches. Joplin and Springfield, both looking at 10 to 14 inches. Cape Girardeau, you are right on that transition zone. Could be 8 to 11 inches of snow, or you could see some sleet mix in. Moving to the deep south, Alabama. Birmingham, 4 to 7 inches of snow Saturday, then a transition to sleet and freezing rain. Ice accumulation, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Huntsville, 6 to 9 inches of snow, then ice. Montgomery, mostly rain, but watch for a brief period of sleet or freezing rain Saturday night. Mobile, all rain, but temperatures drop dangerously low after the storm. Florence and Decatur, you are in a dangerous spot. Snow, then significant ice, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Georgia. Atlanta, this is serious. 3 to 5 inches of snow Saturday morning, then a flip to freezing rain. Ice accumulation, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. The combination of heavy vegetation and infrastructure means even a 1/2 inch of ice will cause major problems. Augusta, similar situation. Macon, 2 to 4 inches of snow, then ice. Columbus, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Savannah, you might stay warm enough for rain, but it is close. Athens, 5 to 8 inches of snow, then ice. South Carolina, Columbia, 4 to 7 inches of snow, then freezing rain. Ice accumulation, 1/2 inch. Charleston, this is borderline. You could see a wintry mix Saturday night. Greenville and Spartanburg, you are in the danger zone. 6 to 9 inches of snow, then 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of ice. This will be devastating for your area. North Carolina, Charlotte, 5 to 8 inches of snow Saturday, then a transition to freezing rain and sleet. Ice accumulation 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Raleigh, 6 to 10 inches of snow Sunday into Monday. Durham and Chapel Hill, same forecast. Greensboro and Winston-Salem, 7 to 11 inches of snow, then ice. 1/2 inch ice accumulation. Asheville, this is complicated. You are in the mountains, so you could see 8 to 14 inches of snow, but you also could see significant icing. The problem in your area is all the trees and power lines intertwined. Even a 1/2 inch of ice is going to cause massive outages. Wilmington, you stay mostly rain, but watch for a brief period of wintry mix Sunday morning. Virginia, Richmond, 5 to 8 inches of snow Sunday, then a possible transition to sleet. Ice accumulation up to 1/2 inch. Norfolk and Virginia Beach, 3 to 6 inches of snow, possibly mixing with sleet. Roanoke, 8 to 12 inches. Charlottesville, 9 to 13 inches. Lynchburg, 10 to 14 inches. West Virginia. Charleston, 7 to 10 inches of snow. Huntington, 8 to 11 inches. Morgantown, 10 to 14 inches. You are in the heart of the heavy snow zone. Washington, D.C., here is your forecast. Snow begins early Sunday morning. Light at first, then moderate to heavy Sunday afternoon and evening. Total accumulation 10 to 13 inches by Monday morning. This is going to shut down the city. Metros will be disrupted. Flights canceled. Federal offices likely closed Monday. Maryland. Baltimore, 9 to 12 inches of snow Sunday into Monday. Annapolis, similar totals. Frederick and Hagerstown, 11 to 15 inches. You are in the bullseye. Delaware. Wilmington, 8 to 11 inches of snow. Dover, 7 to 10 inches. Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, you are looking at 12 to 15 inches of snow Sunday into Monday. This could be your biggest storm in 5 years. Pittsburgh, 9 to 13 inches. Harrisburg, 13 to 17 inches. You are in the heavy snow zone. Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, 14 to 18 inches. Allentown and Bethlehem, 12 to 16 inches. Erie, 8 to 12 inches with lake effect, adding more. New Jersey. Newark, 10 to 14 inches. Trenton, 11 to 15 inches. Atlantic City, 8 to 12 inches. All of northern New Jersey expect 12 to 16 inches. New York City. This is the big question. Current models show 8 to 14 inches of snow Sunday into Monday. The range is wide because it depends on the exact track of a secondary system. If two storm systems merge perfectly off the coast, you could see 16 inches. If they do not phase together, you get 8 to 10 inches. Either way, this is a significant snowstorm. It starts Sunday morning and continues through Monday afternoon. The city will shut down. Albany, 12 to 16 inches. Syracuse, 10 to 15 inches. Rochester, 8 to 12 inches. Buffalo, 6 to 10 inches with lake effect adding more later. Binghamton, 14 to 18 inches. Connecticut, Hartford, 15 to 19 inches of snow Sunday into Monday. New Haven, 14 to 18 inches. Bridgeport, 13 to 17 inches. You are in the heart of the heavy snow. Rhode Island, Providence, 16 to 20 inches. This could be your biggest storm in years. Newport, similar totals. Massachusetts. Boston, this is your monster. 18 to 24 inches of snow Sunday into Tuesday morning. Some models show 26 inches. This will be a top 5 snowstorm in Boston history. Worcester, 19 to 23 inches. Springfield, 16 to 20 inches. Plymouth and Cape Cod, 20 to 25 inches. This is going to be absolutely crippling. New Hampshire and Vermont. Manchester and Concord, 14 to 18 inches. Portsmouth, 16 to 20 inches. Burlington, Vermont, 12 to 16 inches. Southern areas get hit hardest. Maine. Portland, 14 to 18 inches starting Sunday night. Bangor, 10 to 14 inches. Augusta, 12 to 16 inches. Now here is what happens after the snow stops. And this might be more dangerous than the storm itself. Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., the storm is done. The snow has stopped. But temperatures are going to be brutally, dangerously cold. Florence, Alabama, 5 degrees. Some of these cities expecting extreme impacts are going to see temperatures they have not experienced in 30 or 40 years. Tupelo, Mississippi, 4 degrees. Yazoo City, 7 degrees. Jackson, Mississippi, 13 degrees. This is an area where it rarely gets below 25 degrees. You are not built for this kind of cold. Dallas, 11 degrees. Oklahoma City, 13 degrees. Little Rock, 1 degree. Nashville, 0 degrees. Let me repeat that. Nashville, Tennessee will be 0 degrees Tuesday morning. That is colder than Great Falls, Montana on the same day. Atlanta, 8 degrees. Birmingham, 6 degrees. Charlotte, 12 degrees. And this is the raw temperature, not the wind chill. When you add wind, it feels even colder. In the Northeast, the cold is just as bad. Washington, D.C., 14 degrees. Baltimore, 12 degrees. Philadelphia, 10 degrees. New York City, 15 degrees. Boston, 8 degrees. And these temperatures are going to last. Wednesday morning is almost as cold. Thursday morning, still below normal. This is a prolonged, dangerous cold event. Why does this matter? Because if you lose power during this storm, you are going to be without heat in life-threatening cold. A half-inch of ice can take down power lines. A tree weighted down with ice and hit by a 30-mile-per-hour wind gust will snap and fall on those lines. Power companies will be overwhelmed. Crews cannot fix lines when ice is still falling. They cannot reach downed lines when roads are impassable. In some areas, particularly that ice zone from East Texas through Mississippi to the Carolinas, people could be without power for 5 to 7 days in 0-degree temperatures. This is why I am telling you to prepare like this is an emergency. Here is what you need to do right now. If you have not already, go to the store today. Get enough food for 5 days that does not require cooking. Bread, peanut butter, canned goods, crackers. Get water, at least 1 gallon per person per day for 5 days. Get batteries, flashlights, candles, matches. If you have a fireplace, get firewood. If you take prescription medications, make sure you have at least a week's supply. Fill up your gas tank, charge all your devices, charge your portable battery packs, check on your neighbors, especially if they are elderly. This is not the time to be isolated. Form a plan. If you lose power, where will you go? Do you have family nearby with a generator? Does your neighbor have a fireplace? Make these plans now, not when the power goes out at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Bring your pets inside. Do not leave dogs or cats outside in this weather. They will not survive. If you have outdoor animals like chickens or livestock, make sure they have shelter and water that will not freeze. Protect your pipes. If you lose power and heat, your pipes can freeze and burst. Know where your main water shutoff valve is. If your house drops below 40 degrees, open cabinet doors under sinks to let warm air circulate. Let faucets drip slightly. If you have a generator, make sure it is ready. Test it now. Make sure you have fuel. Never run a generator inside your house or garage, even with the door open. Carbon monoxide will kill you. Keep generators at least 20 feet away from your home. Do not use your gas stove or oven to heat your home. This also produces carbon monoxide. Do not bring a charcoal grill inside. These are deadly mistakes people make every winter storm. If you lose power, layer your clothing. Wear a hat inside. You lose most of your body heat through your head. Wear socks and boots. Bundle up in blankets. If you have a small room, close it off and stay in that one room to conserve body heat. Watch for signs of hypothermia, shivering, confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness. If someone stops shivering, that is actually a bad sign. It means their body temperature has dropped dangerously low. Get them warm immediately. Frostbite can occur in as little as 5 to 10 minutes when you combine these temperatures with wind. Your fingers, toes, nose, and ears are most vulnerable. If you have to go outside, cover all exposed skin. Wear gloves, wear a hat, wear a scarf over your face. Now let me tell you about travel. Do not drive in this storm unless it is absolutely necessary. I know people say that every storm, but this time I mean it. The ice zone from Texas to the Carolinas is going to have roads that are literally skating rinks. You cannot drive on a half-inch of ice. Four-wheel drive does not help on ice. Snow tires do not help on ice. Nothing helps on ice. You will slide, you will crash. Emergency services might not be able to reach you. In the heavy snow zones, roads will be buried. Plows will be overwhelmed. You could get stuck. In 0-degree temperatures, getting stuck in your car is life-threatening. If you absolutely must drive, keep a winter survival kit in your car. Blankets, food, water, flashlight, first aid kit, shovel, kitty litter or sand for traction, jumper cables, phone charger. Airlines have already canceled nearly 1,300 flights, and that number is going to grow. If you have travel plans this weekend, change them now. Most airlines are waiving change fees. Airports in Dallas, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, Charlotte, all of them are going to see major disruptions. In the Northeast, airports in Philadelphia, Newark, New York, and Boston will be shut down Sunday into Monday. 17 states have already declared states of emergency. Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington, D.C. has also declared an emergency. These declarations allow states to mobilize resources, activate National Guard, and coordinate emergency response. FEMA is staging supplies. At Camp Minden in Louisiana, they have 250,000 meals, 400,000 liters of water, and 30 generators ready to deploy. Incident management teams are on standby. The National Response Coordination Center has been activated. This is the level of preparation you see for hurricanes. Now here is something critical you need to know at the 12-minute mark. This storm is slow moving. That means snow and ice will have time to accumulate. A fast-moving storm drops 3 inches in an hour and moves on. This storm drops 1 inch per hour for 16 hours. That is how you get to 16 inches. That is how ice builds to 1 inch thick. Slow storms are more dangerous than fast storms. And here is another thing. After this storm finally moves out Tuesday, we are not done with winter. The Climate Prediction Center has painted a huge cold blob over the southeast for the next 10 days. From the 6 to 10-day period, New Orleans, Atlanta, the entire state of Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, up into the mid-Atlantic, the Tennessee and Ohio valleys, all below average temperatures. We are stuck in this pattern, and there are already signals for another significant winter storm impacting the south and east coast right after this one. I am not going to show you those models yet because they will change, but when you have this much cold air locked in place, you cannot ignore it. If you want updates on that next system, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on because I will be tracking it closely. Let me show you the Winter Storm Severity Index. This is different from just looking at snow totals or ice amounts. This index takes everything into account: snow, ice, wind, temperature, and it tells you what impacts to expect on the ground, not just totals. Impacts. If you are in the red zone, major impacts. That means major interruptions to your daily life. Roads impassable, widespread power outages, schools closed, businesses closed. If you are in the orange zone, moderate impacts. That means school cancellations, flight cancellations, dangerous road conditions. If you are in the purple zone, extreme impacts. This is where we could have an actual emergency. No driving, no flying, no power, and possibly no ability to restore power quickly. The purple extreme impact zone is currently between Greenwood, Tupelo, Oxford, and Booneville in Mississippi. I am really concerned about this area. Someone there is going to see more than 1 inch of ice. When you add hundreds of pounds of ice to a tree, it is ready to snap. Now add a 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gust. That tree is coming down, and it is taking power lines with it. There are also isolated extreme impacts expected north of Atlanta near Clayton, Georgia, and Brevard, North Carolina, right on the border. I expect this zone to expand towards Charlotte. Charlotte is currently expecting major impacts. Major impacts across southern New England into the northeast, the I-95 corridor, upstate New York, the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania, the entire state of Massachusetts, southern Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. This is all because of heavy snow. It is going to snow hard. Roads will be a mess. This is not going to be a once-in-a-lifetime storm for people in the Northeast. You get storms like this every year or every couple years, but this is still going to be a major storm. Do not take it lightly. For people in the South, this could actually be a once-in-a-lifetime event. If you are in that ice zone in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, you have never seen anything like this. Your parents might not have seen anything like this. Your grandparents might remember the ice storm of 1994 or the blizzard of 1993, but this is in that category. The combination of extreme ice accumulation and record cold temperatures creates a scenario we have not seen in 30 years in some places, maybe longer in others. Here's the truth. This storm has the potential to be life-altering for certain communities and certain people. That is not an exaggeration. When you lose power for a week in 0-degree temperatures, when you cannot get to a store because roads are impassable, when you cannot get help because emergency services cannot reach you, your life changes. At least temporarily. So here is what I am asking you to do. Work together. Check on your neighbors. Share resources. If you have a generator and your neighbor does not, invite them over. If you have a fireplace and your elderly neighbor does not, bring them to your house. If you have extra food and someone else does not, share it. We are going to get through this together. This might actually be a good excuse to meet your neighbors if you do not know them. Go knock on their door right now. Introduce yourself. Exchange phone numbers. Make a plan. In an emergency, your neighbors are your first line of help, not emergency services. They are overwhelmed. And please, think about other people. If you see someone stranded on the road, help them if you can do so safely. If you see someone elderly or disabled who needs assistance, help them. If you have the ability to check on people, do it. A simple phone call could save someone's life. We will eventually come out of this cold pattern, but it is not going to be anytime soon. The long-range models show this cold air locked in place through the end of January and possibly into early February. This is not a 3-day event. This is a 3-week event. Before I let you go, I want to make sure you got your specific forecast. If I did not mention your city, comment below where you are watching from. Tell me your city and state. I will reply with your personalized forecast. I am monitoring the models constantly, and things can change, so specific numbers might shift slightly, but the overall pattern is locked in. This storm is happening. The ice is happening. The cold is happening. One more time, here is your action list. Stock up on supplies today. Food, water, medications, batteries. Fill your gas tank. Charge your devices. Check on neighbors. Bring pets inside. Protect your pipes. Know where your emergency supplies are. Have a plan for if you lose power. Do not travel unless absolutely necessary. And stay informed. I will have another update tomorrow with refined forecasts for specific cities as we get closer to the event. I will also be doing live updates throughout the weekend as this storm unfolds. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on notifications so you do not miss those critical updates. And remember, at the end of the day, this is just weather. It is going to be difficult. It is going to be dangerous. But we have been through storms before. We know how to prepare. We know how to help each other, and we will get through this one too. Stay safe out there. Take this seriously.